rhythm. That's good rhythm. What's up everyone and welcome to FAQ 154. What's up? I'm Ola Englund of Feared and the Haunted and you're on my channel. Thank you for watching. The FAQs is the show where I sit and answer your questions basically. Your frequently asked questions that have never been asked before. Just gonna put down the guitar a little bit and then we're off. Let's go. One might wonder, how do I ask Ola a question? Head over to the comment section of this video. Ask the question there. Done deal. I might see it. And today we're starting with this. Guachaki. Q for next FAQ. Back in the day you used to mix your own albums, right? Can you explain a little how the process went and what's the difference with what you do now? I'm completely ignorant on what you're supposed to do and what are the usual stages of producing an album after the DIs are recorded, I mean. Yes, I did mix my own stuff up until a point where I felt like, okay, you know, I'm not good enough of a producer or mixer, so it's better to let someone else handle that. But up until a certain point, you know, I can manage, sort of. And the last thing I mixed and mastered like a full album was actually the Feared album. It's Furor Incarnatus Feared album. That was the last one I mixed completely, with a little bit of help actually from a Polish guy who helped me mix Kevin's drums. So the drums are sort of half mixed by another guy, and then, you know, I got the stems for that and I mixed everything together. Am I proud about the album? It sounds okay. I just remembered it being a lot of work. Fortin Satan. This is my Fortin Satan right here. I know a lot of people might be able to handle, you know, the whole process of writing something and then mixing and, you know, releasing, but I'm just not that guy. I mean, imagine that you have to listen to your own music over and over. You're not only writing the music, you know, and then you have to record yourself and you have to listen more to the music, and then you have to mix and master everything and you have to listen even more to the music. You're gonna be so sick and tired of hearing your shit. This is the last album. I remember that, you know, it took a lot of my time to mix this album, and it's just not for me, man. It's just too much work to make everything fit together, and there's one thing to mix something for YouTube, but there's another thing to mix something for that will be able to work on, you know, digital platforms, on CDs, on vinyls, etc. That's a completely different spectrum right there. But if you want to keep your costs down, you know, recording everything and mixing everything yourself might be the route you want to get, like at the starting point at least. And then when you get more traction and whatever, maybe you can get someone else to mix your stuff. Yeah, I remember this album. I really liked how the vocals came out, because they're really close and up front, and, you know, Mario sounds kick-ass on this album. Like a really, you know, gurgling type of vocal sound on this album. So I'm really proud about how the vocals turned out on this album. Guitars sound okay, drums sound okay, it's just okay. I much more prefer the other albums where someone else mixed, you know? So where does one start when you want to learn how to mix an album? Just Google, I guess. You just have to get into it and it's trial and error, basically. You can find helpful tutorials out there, but it all comes down to you, you know, just going in there and try it for yourself and see what works and what does not work, etc. It's a process. It's a process for sure. I definitely think it might be worth to be able to sort of mix and produce yourself, to kind of get to know your sound and how to produce your type of sound. I think that would be probably pretty beneficial for every guitar player or musician out there to be able to record themselves properly. I mean, that's the internet right there in a nutshell. People sitting at home in COVID times, you know, recording themselves, and they'll send files all over the world to people who knows what they're doing, basically. So there you go. Hope I answered the question. Probably didn't. Stein G, when you're reviewing gear and give your own unbiased opinion, have you ever had some negative backlash from one of the companies that sent them because they didn't like your opinion? So when brands reach out to me, the first response I send to them is usually explaining how I make my videos, which is like, okay, you know, I cater to the viewers. and not to the brand. So I don't do any sponsored videos. You know, I can take a product as a loaner, make a demo, but you have to understand that I'm going to be completely honest, and whatever happens in the video will stay in the video, because, you know, I'm more for the casual demoing, other than, you know, the scripted that a lot of other people are doing. I'm more for like, here's a thing, I'm gonna try it out, let's see what happens. Does it inspire me? Does it not? Is it shit? You know, that stays in the videos. So if the companies are okay with me being completely honest, then I can make a demo. I think sometimes this message has not come across, and they sent me something anyways, and, you know, the demo might not have been in their favor, I would say. And then they stop, you know, emailing me. That's okay. I mean, you know, I let them know about my conditions before I made the demo, and you know, if they can't handle it, then, you know, maybe they shouldn't have sent me that product in the first place. Just saying. So yes, I have had companies that have stopped contacting me because of my video, and also in the other way around, man. I mean, sometimes I have conditions and terms. I don't want brands to use my name, for instance, as an artist and whatnot, or on websites. Just let me do my video, you know, and that's it. But sometimes, you know, some companies have taken advantage of using my name, and you know, that gets me pissed off. So it goes both ways. I mean, sometimes, you know, companies, they take your whole limb, you offer them a little bit of a hand, and they take your whole arm and everything else. And that I do not appreciate. And, you know, I'm trying to be upfront and honest of how I make my videos. And if they're gonna use my name, even if I tell them not to, you know, that's gonna hurt my feelings, you know. And that has happened too. So I've banned a couple of companies where I said, like, I'm never gonna do another product demo for one of their products anymore. At the same time, some brands are probably like, we're never gonna let Ola do a product demo for us anymore. So it goes both ways, basically. There you go. Jack the Knife. Ola, fuck question. You mentioned Diablo 2 in your last Swola. It was one of my top games growing up, and I'm also excited about the remaster. What classes do you play, and how obsessed were you when you played? All right, I think I've talked about this before, but I was a necromancer, obviously. I played Diablo 1, and when Diablo 2 came out for the first time, I played it in 2 sessions, right? First, when it came out in the big box version, I played it a lot, and I was playing as a necromancer and all that. And then I stopped playing, I started going to college, and I remember going to a store, and they had the bestseller version, and I bought that and the expansion pack with Ball, and I started playing again, and then I quit college. Not saying Diablo 2 was the reason why I quit college, but or university rather, but it might have helped a little bit. I was just tired of school in general. It was like straight off after high school, I went to university, and I was just sick and tired of reading books and shit. So it was not only Diablo 2, but I am really looking forward to the Diablo 2 remaster. I even signed up for the alpha testing, so I'm hoping maybe I'll get a code and maybe I get going. You know? Who knows? I remember back in the day, I actually beta tested the Diablo 2 original one, and everyone, you could only be a barbarian, and it was the first act as well. So it was just a bunch of barbarians running around, and it was lovely. There you go. Not Anime Boy. Hey Ola, how was looking your first recording experience? And do you still keep somewhere your first recorded chug? Okay, I do have demo of my first band and our first recording, which happened probably like 97 or 98 or something like that. 1997, 1998. When is that? That's more than, shit man, that's 24 years ago. Holy shit. How old was I? Like 17? It was with my band Subside. Let me see if I can find. Yes, I have demo 1 here. This is the first song we wrote and recorded. Recorded to ADAT. Do you remember that? And all, you know, back at ADAT time, we didn't edit. You know, you recorded everything, and you know that was it basically on ADAT. You can do like cut-ins or whatever. That was good, but we didn't sit and edit like you do today. What was that? Probably like 16, 17 years old, maybe. Bass man. I remember this. This is like I think this was my dual rectifier I had back in the day. And our drummer insisted on having like a jungle snare on everything. And I was like, man, can't you just use a real snare? God damn it. No, he wanted a jungle snare. Okay, demo 2, what's up? Metal Man. Oh shit. Ballads. Oh shit, depressing stuff, man.
Apparently, I had a soul when I was a teenager. That's cool. Very Petrucci. I was probably very much into Green Theory at this time. That's cool, man. Dude, this is a lot of fun. So yeah, this band basically recorded a bunch of demos. I think the first one I mixed was this. Like beginning of 2000, something like that. It's probably one of my where I try to mix something professionally. 2000 and something. Yep. You can definitely hear the teenager there. So yeah, I mean, I have a lot of these demos, and also a lot of demos from when I was, basically sitting at home using Cakewalk or whatever. And see if I can find these somewhere. All right, I found it. So first we have Triaxis Test. I remember I was getting a Triaxis, and this I recorded directly, like preamp to my computer in Cakewalk 7. Like 97, 98. Listen to that MIDI bass, man. Yeah, man. Heavy. You know, back then I was using Cakewalk 7 drums and bass MIDI. And so I don't know what it was, like the Korg X30 multi-effect pedal. Shit. What is this? Like 17, 18-year-old? Oh, alternate picking, I hear it. No down picking here. That was actually fun. I'm kind of blushing right now. We're listening to, young Ola. Isn't that great? No? Okay, thank you. Let's just continue. You mentioned in an FAQ with Louise that during the song's production, you can get tired of listening to them, despite liking them and your work in general. But do you ever get tired of playing your songs by yourself when there is no audience? Thanks to your content is always amazing. Best wishes. Thank you. No, I absolutely loathe my songs. I can't listen to them at all. Only when I play them, because then I have to play them. And, I recognize that people want to hear me play the songs. So when I play and perform, it's okay, because I know that I'm playing it for people that want to hear the music, so that's not a problem. But I don't sit and listen to my own stuff in the car, for instance. I can't handle my own shit. Jim Augustusson, question for next fact: when do you use your tone knob? Is it finally time to drop it? I actually do not use the tone knob that often. That it happens. It happens rarely. Most of the times when I have a tone knob, you just try to make sure it's always at 10. Which is probably not good. But as you can see on the... Is this an artist guitar? No. Is this an artist guitar? Yes. So as you can see on this one, the artist guitars, they don't have the tone knob. This is how I would spec up a solar guitar for me to play live. But there's a lot of people out there that wants a tone knob. But some of our guitars do not. So we have options. Millionth Hunter, hey Ola, have you ever played the RGT 100ES? It's a tube variant of the RG 100ES. If so, what are your thoughts on it? I have not tried one, but I've tried to purchase one from Germany for ages, but they won't ship it to me. If you're in Germany, maybe you can pick it up. I'll put a link somewhere. They won't allow me to buy it, so maybe someone in Germany can do that. Lee E. Ola, guitar battle between John Petrucci and Dimebag. 2 categories, lead and rhythm. Who would win in each? Keep up the awesome content and positivity. Cheers from Oklahoma. He's trying to do the good old switcheroo where, you're trying to fight the strongest gods against each other. I cannot compare these two. They have such different vibes to them. And, I like him and adore him for, different reasons. Dimebag, I think Dimebag was a natural talent when it comes to blues and feel and, riffing. He is what you would call metal. Right there.
And then we have John Petrucci, which is more in another school, which is still great, you know. I think both are very awesome rhythm players, but for different reasons. And in the lead department, same thing there. I mean, you know, even though I probably adore Dimebag's playing more than John Petrucci, I must say that I think that I'm more inspired by John Petrucci's type of playing. You know, I have a real hard time trying to write Dimebag stuff because no one can do it like Dime. But John Petrucci stuff, that's something I feel that I can at least, you know, get inspired by and, you know, write something similar or something like that. So in that sense, man, impossible. Thank you. More Pugsy. Question for the next FAQ. Hey Ola, what PC are you running for your main gaming rig at the moment? And have you been doing much gaming as of late, considering there are not too many new games on the market? I just got a PS5. Legit! I pre-ordered one a year ago, and I finally got one. I'm sitting there playing Final Fantasy VII Remake right now. It's amazeballs. Holy shit. I know it's a PS4 game, but still, I'm just enjoying my PS5. And, you know, I'm just happy that I didn't give any money to any scalpers or anything like that. I bought mine legit, and I'm just really happy to finally have one. And I also have Demon's Souls that I can't wait to play. I'm gonna finish Final Fantasy VII Remake first, and then I'm gonna do Demon's Souls. Okay, looking forward to it. Geoff Cooper. Hey, Ola, absolutely love... Geoff Cooper, hey Ola, absolutely love your videos. Been a fan since the Amphead demo days. How close to Starzinger shipping are we? I can't wait to jam this album. Cheers! Thank you. We have a release date for the album. It's April 26th, which is a Monday, and it's pretty soon. So at that date, it will be available on Spotify, on my YouTube channel, of course, to stream, and all the digital platforms that exist and are important. So, and we're also starting to ship out albums very, very soon. Probably as this FAQ goes up, we probably started to ship out a little bit. When you're just starting to record an album, it just feels like there's such a long stretch until you're finally gonna be able to release the album. You know, it just seems like the tallest mountain you can climb. You're like, when the f am I gonna be up there and be able to release the album? It's just, the road is just so far. And but now that I'm finally here, it feels really, really great, and I'm relieved, to say the least. So thank you. Rain Sweat, I'm not happy with your new content that I find useless, without flavor, fuck again and again. This is just my little opinion from Rain Sweat. This is a weird statement, because back in the day, you know, I was doing FAQs every week, and now I'm doing them like every other week or every other 2 weeks or something like that. So they're more seldom FAQs now, just saying. But at the end of the day, if you find my stuff to be boring and you know, you don't enjoy what you're watching, it's completely free to unsubscribe to my channel. The thing is that, you know, I started my channel 10 years ago, right? More than 10 years ago. And you know, 10 years is a lot of years, man. You know, I change, you change, and sometimes we just don't grow together, and that's fine. You know? Maybe you don't agree with me, but come on, man. Just let it go. It's okay to let it go. You can unsubscribe to my channel, that's fine. And I don't want to put any hate on this, because, you know, this is just how it is. I mean, time goes by and preferences change. That's just how it is, and that's okay. That's just life right there. I know there's a lot of people out there that has probably unsubscribed to my channel because it's not what it was back in the day, and that's fine. I'm just trying to go with the flow, and if the flow doesn't work for you, then it's completely free to leave. You know, just saying. No hate, it's okay. Thank you. And that was the last question. Thank you so much for listening in, guys. If you have any question, post them in the comment section of this video, and maybe I'll answer it in the next FAQ. Thank you so much for watching, guys. See you next time. Bye.